So I'm just checking in to say I feel like absolute crap. Isn't that positive? No, like not completely and utterly. Like I feel a bit rubbish, but I have IBS. Also anorexia. And then you'd think that would be enough, wouldn't you? But no. See, I also have to be autistic, which I haven't mentioned yet. That's like a totally different video because that'll be, yeah, I'll go into that a bit more. So when I say I'm bloated and feel like crap, like it's just a bit of an understatement, to be honest. Yeah, so for me, like, obviously I'm trying to stick to my meal plan more, which is going to bring bloating. And the dietitian said, look, you know, like bloating is normal. And I know it is, I know that. It's all part of the process. But I think like the body image part of anorexia makes that then feel worse and highlights this feeling, and the IBS itself is already uncomfortable, and that can, you know, really make you painfully bloated. Like I'm more on that end of the spectrum than the other end. So yeah, I tend to just get like so much bloating. Past the point of just comfort, like yeah, just hideous. But then coupling the factor that I have high functioning autism, the sensory experience is probably more difficult than what a non-autistic person would experience. I'm constantly aware of like my bodily sensations and stuff like that. Because I'm hypersensitive in a lot of sensory ways. Some people on the spectrum might be the opposite, but I'm definitely on the hyper sensitive end. And so I become very aware when I have like this level of bloating. So yeah, that's basically me having a 3-minute moan about about feeling really just horribly uncomfortable. And it's things like this that can impact recovery, and it's really difficult to not let it impact you. I remember when I was refeeding in the hospital, and nothing compares to that actually. That was absolutely hideous, and it really impacted my ability to go in meals then, because I didn't feel like I could physically put anything else into my body because my skin felt so stretched and tight. I felt like my skin would rip, and that may sound like an exaggeration, but that is the extremity as to how bad it felt. I had to pull the out of hours doctor and stuff, and yeah, I can get quite painfully bloated. Yeah, like I say, nothing compares to then. But yeah, like it can then influence the decisions you make with your recovery. You think, well, I feel full, I feel sick, you know, I don't, you know, it doesn't feel like there's any more room for anything to fit into your torso. And yeah, because you do essentially fill with air, your stomach feels bigger, it does look bigger sometimes, and so your eating disorder tells you that that is weight gain, and that is adipose tissue, you know, like you've gained a lot of fat tissue there suddenly, even though you know in your head like it doesn't just suddenly go on like that. But that's when the eating disorder takes advantage of things. And I think this is something like that's going to be quite important for me to remind myself of if I stick with this whole throw myself into like a more real recovery mindset compared to this crazy mindset I've been in for a long time. But yeah, it is really uncomfortable, and I feel bad enough now, and I know it's gonna get worse really. So I'm just moaning about it instead. Buscopan is pretty much my best friend, but sometimes like when things are bad, like it doesn't even feel like it touches the discomfort. Oh, that's all I've got to say really. Just getting it out of my head. Oh, help.